All right, so now we're going to go in with our blush. Right now I'm using the Sleek Makeup or Sleek Cosmetic palette in Pink Sprint, and the color is Pink Parfait. Okay, it is this color right here, and it's just so beautiful. So I'm gonna take my brush, take a little bit, and I'm just gonna start, not right here yet, I'm gonna start outside and blend up. And then I can bring it a little bit forward. Just a little bit. And sometimes, you know, if you feel as though so see how that looks, okay? And then if you feel, oh man, I put a little bit too much blush in the, right here on my cheeks, I put too much. When I smile, I'm like, oh, that's a little bit too much blush. You're gonna go in with your highlighting powder, and you can just go ahead and put a little dab there. Right on top of the blush. Okay, and that just makes it a lot sheerer, okay? All right, so I'm really liking that. Okay, so that's looking good. Now we're gonna go ahead and complete the eyebrows. And what I'm using is 2 eyeliners for my eyebrows. Now you can find, the colors that work best for you in eyebrow pencil. That's fine. The colors I found were in an eyeliner pencil, so it's okay. Makeup is interchangeable. You can use it however you need to use it. So that's what I'm using, and they are both Wet n Wild. The first one is Wet n Wild Mega Last eyeliner in the color dark brown, and the second one is the waterproof retractable gel liner in Black is Black, and they're both retractable actually too. And then you use your favorite spoolie, which we call it spoolie here in Makeup World, but it's basically like a mascara wand is a spoolie, and or you can use a brush like this, which has a dual small comb and a a brush at the end, okay? And so I'm gonna go ahead and brush my brows in the opposite direction and brush them up. Brushing my brow in the opposite direction and up. And I've already groomed my brows, so they're already ready, they're already prepared. And I have another mirror here, so that way I can see and make sure that my eyebrows are looking good. All right, so if you zoom in, and the camera zooms in, you'll be able to see. And I've done my brows so many times that I know exactly where to start and stop. But if this is your first time, you're going to put a dot right here, which is where your tear duct is. That should line up the first point of where your eyebrow should start. Then you want to tilt your pencil here to the middle of your eye, and the corner, like the outer, your nostril here, into the middle of your eye, and draw another dot there, and that will be the point of your, the arch of your brow. And then the stopping point will be right here to the outer corner of your eye. It'll be right about here to stop, your eyebrow. Because you've seen those people that have long eyebrows way out into the wilderness of their hairline. And you're like, that doesn't look right. I'm here to help you out with that, okay? So I start my brows here, right underneath my hairline. And this is also a good, very good template to use if you have no brows. Sometimes you pluck so much, you just gave up, you shaved all your brows off, or you have very thin brows like I do, or you maybe have half or less than half of an eyebrow. This will definitely help you because, you know, when you don't have that, it's very hard to see what is the best looking brow for you, and like how to just make your brows look nice and natural. Okay, and once again, I'm looking in the mirror. As you can see, I'm just drawing a line, and then I draw another line on top. And I like my brows to be a little bit thicker and just a tad bit longer, not too overly dramatic. Trust me, I've done it before and taken pictures and wanted to destroy those pictures. Okay, so just wanted to let you know that do your brows, you know, a little bit at a time, not too thick, not too thin. We're not going for Sharpie eyebrows. Sharpie eyebrows, for those of you around the world, is when, you know, we have a marker called Sharpie, which is like a drawing pen. And some women we'll call them Sharpie brows because they'll take a pencil, a pen, whatever they are using, and they just draw a sharp line like that. And it looks so bad. So we're going for the natural look, okay? We're going for natural, and I don't want a large or a huge curve or even a sharp line to my eyebrows. I just want a nice natural curve to my eyebrows. Now some of you out there may have, you know, a really high arch. It goes with your face, it goes with your eyes. Do what you need to do, okay? Do what looks best on you. And I'm coloring or shading the rest of my brow in with my dark brown pencil. And it's always good to start out, especially when you're dark skinned, always good to start out with a dark brown pencil because it looks more natural that way. Now, if you are very, very deep complected, yes, black would be great for you. But just starting out, try with a dark brown pencil, get comfortable with that. And then, you know, as I'm doing right now, I can stop right here. So I can stop right here. I mean, this is dark enough for my eyebrow. It's looking very natural. However, my brows are short. As you can tell, they're very short and thin. So over here in this area where I need I would call my eyebrow tail to stop, it doesn't, as my oils come in and I'm blotting my face, it's not gonna last that long, and it'll look transparent after a while, like I don't have an eyebrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and color in a little bit more to the tail, a little bit darker. And then I'm gonna add, this is where the black pencil comes in. And I'm lightly using the dark pencil on the end of my brow, on the tail end. So like the end to the tail. All right, just a little bit, just shading it in just a tad. And that just makes it just a little bit darker, okay? And that's the way that I really love to do my eyebrows. Now on for the next one. And you constantly have to look side to side to make sure that your eyebrows are as close to being twins as possible, okay? If you can at least get them to being sisters, you got it. So you don't want one brow that's like way up here and then the other one is straight. You want them to look symmetrical, to look like as close to twins as possible, okay? So just give me one moment here to make sure that my brows are looking good. Okay. And I'm coloring them in. Right here is where my point is, and I'm just gonna do a slight curve. And bring it down into my line. Okay. All right, all right. And then I'm just gonna color in the rest. And sometimes you have to raise your eyebrows like this to make sure, like, okay, when I raise my eyebrows, it looks natural. It looks like a natural facial expression. Okay. And then I just color it in. Okay, so my brows are looking as close to twins as possible. I'm gonna add a little bit of my black pencil to the outer line here, the tail of my eyebrow. And I think the brows might take the longest time, okay? Brows, and yeah, the brows are gonna take the longest time because you want it to look as natural as possible. And you want it to really look nice and neat. So, okay, I really like that. So that is how I initially do my brows. Now I'm gonna go back in with the brush because I don't like how boxy the inner sides are. Now some people go out like this, you know, it looks somewhat natural, and on some faces it actually looks good. But however, I don't like that for myself. So I'm gonna take the brush and blend in, or blend out actually, the harshness of that line, and then blend up my eyebrow hairs all the way out to the end as far as I can get it. All right, so if you can see the slight difference that the brush makes, just blending out the brow a little bit more towards right here. It's a little bit of a fade, whereas this one is really dark starting here. So that's what we want to do. We want to just slightly fade it in the front to make it look as natural and as real as possible. And it's okay to step back and adjust, make a little bit of adjustments to the art that you've created, okay? So far, that's looking pretty good. And one more thing that I do to clean up my brows just a little bit more, I'll take my foundation brush again, and I'm gonna just clean up the bottom and make sure that's pretty straight, and sometimes blend and bring out my brow just a little bit more as well. Okay. Sometimes you just, like I said, this part takes the absolute longest step. But you want to make sure that it looks nice. These are brows that are gonna last all day, you know, at work and everything else. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm happy with my brows looking this way, you know, looking pretty good. So now I'm going to add a small highlight underneath my brow just to bring out my brow bone just a little bit. I'm gonna go in with my natural highlighting, with the highlighting powder once again, right underneath my brow right here. All right, and then back in with my the brush that I used to apply my all over powder to my eyeshadow or to my eyelid. I'm just gonna use that to blend it because you can tell it's a little bit more prominent here, and I don't want it to be so prominent. So I'm gonna just blend that brown just a little bit to blend it out and make it a little bit more, look a little bit more natural there in the area. And sometimes sometimes you can just use what you have on the brush and blend it all the way up into that lighter area too. And just blend it, blend it, blend it. Not adding any more product is what I mean. You don't have to add any more product to the brush. You can just start blending it and blend right on top of that highlight. And see, it just looks seamless. It looks very, very natural. All right, stay tuned for the next step.